Good morning, all. The topic for discussion today is testosterone, the male hormone. We all know that Leydig cells secrete androgen and the Sertoli cells secrete estrogen, inhibin, and activin. Small amount of estrogen is required for spermatogenesis. Inhibin is the hormone which controls the anterior pituitary secretion of FSH. And among all these, the most important hormone is testosterone. Testes secrete following androgens: testosterone, androstenedione, and dihydrotestosterone. Among all, the dihydrotestosterone has twice the potency as that of testosterone. The adrenal gland also secrete testosterone, androstenedione, and dihydroepiandrosterone, commonly known as TIAs. If these adrenal glands secrete these hormones in the normal physiological range, there are no symptoms. We can read out from the slide that hormones secreted from adrenals are not important in normal physiological conditions, but any condition where there is excessive secretion of adrenal androgen. In males, we find precocious puberty in boys, and in females, we find the masculinizing effects in girls. Now, testosterone is secreted from Leydig cells. As you can see from the graph, we can see that in newborn, the levels are high, then they dip during the childhood. At adolescent, they again peak up, and during the adulthood, that is 20 to 30 years, the level of testosterone are maximum, and then gradually they decrease. The Leydig cells keep on secreting the testosterone till 80 years of age, but the levels keep on declining gradually. The testosterone is secreted in a concentration of 4 to 9 milligram per day. Out of this, 98% is in bound form and 2% is in free form. This 2% free fraction is responsible for all the actions at the tissue level. Now, androstenedione, this is the important precursor for estrogen in men. Coming to dihydrotestosterone, 20% of it is formed in testes, while 80% is formed by the peripheral conversion of testosterone in skin and male reproductive organs. As you can see in the slide, in testes, this testosterone is converted to dihydrotestosterone with the help of 5-alpha reductase enzyme, which is present in Sertoli cells. In skin and male reproductive tract, this testosterone is converted to dihydrotestosterone with the help of the enzyme 5-alpha reductase. Now, dihydrotestosterone has twice the biological activity when compared to testosterone. Coming to the mechanism of action, you can see in this slide that this is the testes which is secreting the testosterone. Now, this is the square box you see is the target cell and the rounded one is the nucleus. So, now this testosterone enters into the target cell. Some of it remains the testosterone, while the triangle you see here gets converted into dihydrotestosterone with the help of the enzyme 5-alpha reductase. Now, once this enzyme hormone enters into the nucleus, it combines with its receptor and forms the hormone receptor complex. Now, this hormone receptor complex is responsible for all kind of functions which the testosterone perform. Now, we will once go through the flow chart. The testosterone enters the target cell, attaches to the androgen receptor, forms hormone receptor complex, binds with nuclear proteins, RNA transcription occurs, and there occurs the increase in cellular proteins. Now, coming to the important short note, that is the physiological actions of testosterone. Testosterone is secreted by fetal testes at about 2nd to 4th month of the embryonic life. Now, here the testosterone plays a very important role, because now here it will lead to the differentiation of the internal genitalia. We all know that there are two duct systems. Wolffian duct and Mullerian duct. Now M for Mullerian duct, W for Wolffian ducts. W also stands for woman and M stands for male. So always remember M does not go with M. That means the Mullerian ducts does not develop in males. It is the Wolffian ducts which develop in the male. So the testosterone causes differentiation of the internal genitalia. It stimulates differentiation of Wolffian duct and stabilizes Wolffian duct. They develop into the epididymis, seminal vesicles and vas deferens. The testosterone also causes differentiation of external genitalia from common analgen. Common analgen gives rise to the formation of external genitalia. And what all is included in common analgen? Genital tubercles, genital swelling, genital folds, urogenital sinus. The urogenital sinus gives rise to prostate and prostatic urethra. Urethral folds give rise to penile urethra and shaft of penis. Genital swellings give rise to scrotum and genital tubercle gives rise to glans penis. You can see in this diagram there are pink cells which are the Leydig cells and the blue cells which are the Sertoli cells. Now Leydig cells will form the testosterone. Some of it will remain the testosterone. The rest of it is converted into dihydrotestosterone. They together lead to the differentiation of the Wolffian ducts. Whereas the Sertoli cells, they secrete the anti-Mullerian hormone. This anti-Mullerian hormone will cause the regression of the Mullerian ducts. So the female internal genitalia, the uterus, the fallopian tube, will not develop in a male. Now, role of descent of testes. Testosterone has an important role in the descent of testes. As we all know, the testes develop in abdomen and near the term they come down into the scrotum. And why they are always present in scrotum, we have already discussed in our first lecture. So testosterone is necessary for this action. In case of undescended testes in a newborn, if we administer testosterone and LH exogenously, sometimes the testes descend. So this proves that testosterone is necessary for the descent. Now, effect on spermatogenesis. Testosterone regulates and affects almost every aspect of spermatogenesis. May it be meiosis, may it be germ cell survival or spermiogenesis. All the aspects of spermatogenesis are being regulated by testosterone. Testosterone is also required for transition between round and elongating spermatids. Now, function of testosterone at puberty. Testosterone causes enlargement of all the external genitalia. It causes enlargement of penis, increases the size of scrotum, scrotum becomes pigmented and the folds appear, the seminal vesicle enlarges and the prostate also grows, and testosterone also stimulates the prostatic secretions. Now, one of the important male secondary characteristic is the development of a deep, low-pitched voice in the boys. You must have noticed that whenever the boys reach the puberty, their voice suddenly changes. The three reasons for the change in the voice are enlargement of the larynx, thickening of the vocal cords, and hypertrophy of the laryngeal mucosa. Now, body hair. Dihydrotestosterone stimulates hair follicle, produces male pattern of hair growth, leads to the appearance of beard. The diamond-shaped pubic hair appears. The male has a large amount of body hair on their body as compared to female. And testosterone also causes the recession of the temporal hairline. Testosterone also leads to the increase in muscle mass. If we have a male and a female of same age, same weight and height, you will see that a male has 50% more muscle mass as compared to an average female. And this is the reason they are used by the players as a youth hormone. Testosterone also makes the bone strong. They helps in depositing calcium, also helps in the retention of the calcium. Thus, they increase the total quantity of bone matrix. They also causes the growth spurt. Now there are two reasons for their increase in growth spurt. They interact with the androgens interact with the growth hormone to increase the somatomedin C levels. So this is responsible for the increase in linear growth, that is the pubertal growth spurt. The testosterone also causes the uniting action on the epiphysis, and this limits the height. Once the epiphyseal plates are closed, the height does not increase anymore. So if we see, testosterone increases the growth as well as limits the growth, but its effect on epiphyseal plate closure is much more than its effect on the growth spurt. It also leads to the increase in BMR by 15%. It leads to the rough and tough appearance, causes secretion of the sebaceous glands, and which results in acne. The testosterone also changes the shape of the male pelvis. The pelvic outlet is narrow, it is long, funnel-like in shape, and the pelvis has increased strength for the weight bearing. Now, effect on psyche. This is also one of the important effects of testosterone. A brief exposure of fetal hypothalamus during the early embryonic behavior is responsible for the male pattern of sexual behavior during the puberty. During puberty, the testosterone initiates libido and potency. It is responsible for the aggressive behavior, and it also produces the interest in the opposite sex. Now, effects on RBC. The testosterone stimulates erythropoietin secretion and leads to the increase in number of RBCs, and its effect on electrolytes and water are that it leads to the retention of sodium and water. Now, coming to the effect of testosterone on lipid profile, it increases VLDL and LDL and decreases the HDL. So with this, we finish the testosterone. For the next lecture, I will be updating soon.